Hi, this is Padovano, and this is a video on what you need to do before going on a long trip. So the first thing you want to do is to look under your car to see if there are any leakages, if there's any oil in the ground or anything. The second thing you want to do is to check the engine fluid. So I'm going to show you that. Look in the car. No leakages. So the second thing you want to do is look at the fluids in your car, which are the windshield wiper fluid, the coolant, the oil, and the brake fluid. And so in order to do that, you have to open up the hood. So for this car, and in most cars, you have a lever that is near the parking brake. Which is right there. And this car, which is the Hyundai Veracruz, has a little lever under the hood. You push, it opens up. So the first thing you want to check is the windshield wiper fluid. And ideally, it should be all the way filled up to where it says max, which is a line right there. The second thing you want to check is the engine coolant, and this should be filled up in between the max and minimum there. And then the third thing you need to check is the engine oil. Now, the way to check the engine oil is to lift up the stick here, and first you need to clean it off. And ideally, the oil should be in between, the oil level should be in between the full and low mark. So the way you check that is you put it back in, you take it back out. Now we have just the right amount of oil because it is at the full mark and it's not past that. And then you put it back in. Last thing you want to check for the fluids is the brake fluid. Now, the brake fluid, it's important that it's all the way filled up to the max mark, because you don't want to have too little brake fluid, because your car won't be able to stop because there's going to be lots of air inside of it. Next thing you want to do is you want to check the tire pressure. Now, in order to check the tire pressure, what you need to do is you need to check the what the car tire's recommended PSI is. So for this car, it's labeled, it's right there. And for this car, it says for the front and back tires, you need to have 30 PSI. So to check the PSI, what you need to do is you need to get a pressure gauge like this, unscrew the cap, and press it against there. Now, this right here measures that it is at 20 psi, and well, you can't really see it, but it says 20 psi, and that means that we should fill it up to 30. Now, a good idea in your car to have is a compressor, and a compressor like this has an emergency light also, which is good if you need to make any repairs to your car. If you are traveling in colder weather, a good idea, well, in any condition, is to have an emergency kit, which has things like Band-Aids and screwdrivers and wrenches, or a multi-tool, which is very useful if you need to make any repairs to your car. You should also have, in colder conditions, you should have a blanket and a candle. And the reason why you should have a candle is because, let's say you're in a snowstorm and there's so much snow falling that you need to stop your car. At that point, you need to turn off your engine, because what can happen is, if it snows enough, there will be snow blocking the exhaust pipe, and carbon monoxide will then go back into your car and give you carbon monoxide poisoning. Actually, a lot of people have died that way, so it's important that you turn off your engine. And that is it for what you need to do to check your car before going on a long trip.